Hey, welcome to Physics Figures. This is Professor Chad Young. I'm a physics professor for 16 years, and the goal of this project was to provide a lot of resources to new and even longtime faculty for creating good exams and assessment pieces and teaching materials for teachers. So just some simple ideas for how to get started with creating figures. Here are some general tips. First of all, when you create figures, you should use very simple lines and shapes. So for example, here I have an image of a hydraulic lift, and notice how I've created it using different shades and different shapes. Each of these pieces is actually just a square. See here, you can get these by going to Insert on your PowerPoint and then go to Shapes. And then there are lots of different shapes that you can be very creative with. But your heavy use shapes are just going to be these basic shapes. I can change it if I right click on it and do Format Shape. I can change the color of it, the fill color, or the width of the line that surrounds it. So there are lots of different things that I can do to change that, and then I can always just put it back there into my hydraulic lift. So fix that. All right. The next thing is that you can create and save common use objects. I find this is particularly good when you're building circuits or when you're doing optical systems. So if you've drawn some lenses or some various electrical devices like resistors, well, it's kind of tedious to make this resistor. So see how it's just made up of a bunch of different little lines? So I'm going to copy it, either do Control C or however you copy. I'll copy it. And then over here I can paste, and then this pastes it as a picture. So now I have this resistor that is a single item. I can take it, I can rotate it, I can even make it bigger or smaller to whatever need that I would like to use it in my various circuits. So also having these circuits is nice because I can take one, I can select the entire thing and then copy it. Whoops. Copy the entire circuit. Sorry. Copy it and then paste it over here and then move it, and now I can change this circuit however I wish. Okay, next you can create graphs in PowerPoint, and on the website I've provided an Excel spreadsheet with a bunch of different graphs in it just that I've made. Here's one, it's a position versus time graph. Notice if I change these numbers, for example, it changes the shape of the graph, but I'm going to keep it as it is. I can take this now and annotate it in PowerPoint, so I'm going to I'm going to select that and then copy it and then go over to PowerPoint, and on a blank slide I will paste it. That pasted it as an Excel unit, but I can also paste it as a picture. So see here, I'm just pasting it as a picture. That way it just keeps it all as one unit. Now I have some markers here that I want to put onto it. First, I'm going to send this to back. That way any existing images that I have will be listed on the top of it. I can take this and put it just on a point. I want to highlight this to the student, and then I can say, at this point A, what is the velocity of this object that has this position versus time graph? So there are lots of different annotations that you can do on plots for your physics test or teaching materials. Next, you can create hand-drawn figures, and that's really useful. Either use paper, which is good, and then scan it with your scanner. Or I recently got one of these, a Wacom One. It's just a pen display. They're not that expensive, a couple $100s, and you can use that to draw on your slides. So for example, here, let's get rid of this. If I wanted to draw something, this is just in PowerPoint. You can use whatever tablet kind of software that you like. But when I open up the software, then I can choose a pen down here. I can choose the color of my pen. I'm partial to blue. And I can just use this to draw whatever figure I want. I can draw an inclined plane, have my block on it. I can put different forces that are acting on it. Look, here's my normal force and my weight. Maybe add in a little bit of friction, a kinetic friction, and then ask, hey, what is the acceleration for this object? Nice hand-drawn figures. I think, your students see those every day in class, so why not include them on your exams and other teaching materials? Hand-drawn figures can be very accessible and very effective in communicating simple ideas. Again, you don't have to have a tablet, just do it on a sheet of paper and then photocopy it and insert that into whatever you're doing. I'm going to keep those ink annotations, and now whenever I want to use it, I can just copy it and paste it somewhere as a picture, and now I have my figure that's ready for whatever I want to do. Um, Finally, you can use public domain images. A great place to do this is just go to Google Images. Let's say that I want I don't know, a picture of a car. So I go car, I get all sorts of things. I want to make sure that I'm, honoring the people who've created these. If I go to the usage rights, I go to Creative Commons licenses, and then that will limit my search to just those that are available. Let's say that I want to keep it just a black and white images. There are some other tools that you can use. And gosh, lots of different cars that I can use, images of cars. Um, well, I don't know. Let's use this one. All right, so I'm going to take this car. I'm going to click on it there. I can copy that image and then just paste it over into wherever I was working. And now I have this image of a car that I can do with whatever I like. I can do a kinematics problem. Look, I can rotate it and have it go up my inclined plane. There are lots of different things that you can do with public domain images, and there are literally millions of images that are available to you that are very useful and effective for communicating the ideas that you want to communicate.